In the massive sinkhole called the internet, many strange and terrifying videos from the darkest corners remain unwatched. But today, we have dug into the dark web and found clips will thoroughly creep you out and send chills down your spine. Evil and demonic creatures are said to thrive in the dark, and if you're skeptical about their existence, then have a look at this clip. A camera recorded footage of this creepy figure emerging from a brick wall. Long black hair, black mouth, donning a white gown. The figure seemed pure evil. When the clip made it to the internet, people started speculating what it might be. Some said it could be a woman possessed by some evil entity. Others had ideas about demons themselves lurking right beside us, while we remain clueless. Uncanny Valley.
What?
A woman that lives alone in her home saw something that looked very creepy. She had felt an eerie presence at her home before, but when she captured this, she was sure something was trying to communicate with her. A young boy, to be specific, and she even caught him on video. The boy looked eerily pale, like a ghost, with extremely thin legs. He had a look very similar to the Uncanny Valley. A human, but not exactly. The woman has yet to find out if the entity was good or evil, and that remains to be known.
Why does someone want to play on?
Feasting creature. A group of friends set out on an adventure, eager to chase thrills and uncover mysteries. But what they stumbled upon was beyond anything they could have ever imagined. In the darkness, a strange figure emerged, cloaked in shadow. With hesitant steps, they drew closer, only to come face to face with a creature straight out of a nightmare. It was unlike anything they had ever seen or could even have imagined. With sharp, twisted horns and eyes glowing with an eerie, unnatural light, it looked like something from another world. Sensing the danger in the air, they quickly decided to retreat, their minds racing with unanswered questions. Was this the legendary Goat Man, or was it something even more terrifying? Mirror apparition. Now get ready for a chilling clip that will make you think twice before looking into your bathroom mirror. It all started with a terrified scream that echoed through the house.
Okay, I can hear my mom. She's freaking.
Sending a young girl rushing to her mother in the bathroom. Her mother was shaking with fear and insisted something was wrong with her eyes, but the daughter couldn't see anything, at least not yet. And that's when her mother glanced into the mirror. Her eyes had turned dark as midnight.
Just look. What do you mean?
Empty and lifeless, staring back at them. As they stared, a sinister figure was standing right behind them. The video cut off, leaving everyone to wonder what happened next.
No, look at me, look! What is Oh, it's okay, it's not there, it's not there! It's only in the mirror!
Unwanted guest. A guy claimed to be experiencing bizarre paranormal activity in his house and was keeping people updated on the dark web. But real trouble started when this clip was posted. To keep tabs, he was recording in his home, and when he walked out of his washroom and closed the door, it seemed like someone was in there and wanted to come out. And then, out of nowhere, the door opened up, and this terrifying face emerged. A mangled woman's face with long hair was staring back at the guy that quickly approached the guy. Looked straight out of a horror movie. I hope the guy stayed safe. Soup party. The creep meter will definitely explode for this one. This clip, known as the blank room soup, showed a man sobbing while eating soup in an empty room. To make the clip all more unsettling, two strange figures wearing huge cartoon costumes emerged and silently stood beside the guy, and even petted him, as if encouraging him to eat the whole thing. Apparently, the man and his wife were abducted and taken to a remote location. where his wife was said to have been harmed, and her remains were used to make the soup he was forced to consume. While this story might sound unbelievable, the man's state showed something disturbing has happened. Whether true or not, the video left many viewers haunted. Handsy walls. If you're still skeptical about ghostly existence, you've got to see this clip. A woman encountered this while home alone. Standing in the middle of her living room, suddenly a hand emerged out of the wall, scaring the living hell out of the woman. But it didn't stop there. One after another, a whole bunch of hands started appearing out of everywhere. Walls, roof. There were hands everywhere. Could it be a demon with a lot of hands making its presence known? Or something face sinister was at play here? The truth remains to be known. Russian sleep experiment. If you've been an active internet user, you might have seen this picture going around online. This picture is allegedly from the infamous Russian sleep experiment. Back in the 1940s, Soviet researchers tried testing a special sleep-inhibiting gas on a group of 5 test subjects to keep them awake for 30 days. At first, the group was fine, but the test ended horribly, with only one survivor, the one in the picture. Unknown for the longest time, recently these clips have been circulating online with claims of being recorded during the experiment. The subject in the clip has gone paranoid. Though many think the story is pure fiction and the experiment never happened, some still think it was very much real. But I'd like to know what you think of this. Weeping Witch. There's a lot of clips that go unwatched on the internet, and this is one of them. A house has been famous for being haunted for a long time, and residents had heard noises of a woman screaming and weeping. Then one of the neighbors managed to record this bizarre sight. In the middle of the night, a very creepy-looking figure emerged from the house and seemed to be walking towards somewhere. Its long hair flowing all around. It looked extremely thin with no facial features. It was like the alleged witch was just a skeleton. The clip has caused a lot of speculation online. Do you think the witch in this clip is real or someone was just pulling a prank? Let me know in the comments. Uncanny doll. Up until now, we have seen clips of Uncanny Village, how some faces look unexplainably creepy because they don't look human-like enough. Here's another such clip that left many scared. A camera footage showed a guy with long hair sitting down on a chair, apparently talking to a small boy on the table. Seeing the way the boy talked looked very animated, with just a single movement of mouth and hand. The guy picked up but put him on the upper slab, and it looked like the boy was lifeless, but then it again started moving on its own. After the footage circulated online, folks thought these were actually toy dolls that come alive in the night when everyone sleeps. A very scary version of Toy Story. Skinwalker. This footage has been a famous proof of Skinwalker existence. After being up for debate for a long time, the clip disappeared only to be found again on the dark web. Apparently, a guy heard knocking on his window, and when he walked up to check, he saw this spine-chilling sight. There was a very creepy-looking face behind the window. The girl-like entity was trying to asking for help and wanted to be let inside. But when she saw that the guy was not having any of it, she trying scaring her way in. The clip just cut there, leaving everyone in suspense of what happened next. People said that the guy encountered a real-life skinwalker that night that was able to shift forms in split seconds and used a helpless front to lure its prey. Devil's Birth. A CCTV camera in a strange abandoned building. A woman was seen lying on a stretcher in an old birthing room, alone, no doctors or nurses around. Suddenly, something inside her began to move, as if trying to push its way out. Was she going into labor? What happened next will leave you shocked. A pair of feet started to come out of her, and then a full-grown creature appeared on the floor. What the heck? With long, pale legs, the creature crawled into the shadows of the room. It was hard to believe that just moments earlier, this eerie thing had been inside her. I don't think you've ever seen a woman give birth to a demon before. Probably a sign to stay off the dark web. Into the woods. While walking out in the woods, a guy saw something that didn't make any sense. In the dark area, behind a tree, he saw a womanly figure crouched down. With no facial features visible, just long hair, the ghostly lady slowly stood up and started walking toward the guy. And then the video suddenly cut off, not showing what happened next. When people watched this clip, they thought it was a forest widow, a legendary ghost who is said to haunt the woods and take on males who dare to venture in the woods alone. Unwell entity. Ancient wells are famous for being haunted, and seeing the next clip, you'll also believe that. A security camera outside an old farmhouse showed a well that was covered up with a small hut. Out of nowhere, a hand emerged out of it, followed by another, and a whole human-like creature appeared. Just its figure looked human-like. Other than that, it was just pure creep-fest. The well was pretty famous for being haunted by a restless spirit of a woman, and people in the area thought it was probably that spirit coming out at night. I don't know about you, but I would have left that house just hearing about this haunted well. I feel fantastic. This video from the early 2010s showed a life-sized doll singing. The clip became an online sensation back in the day, with many people saying the clip looked creepy, and some even found it unreasonably scary. Although the clip might look simple at first, a robotic doll singing low-key, disturbing songs. But the story behind this clip was far more sinister. According to a famous online theory, the owner of this doll was actually a serial criminal who used to execute women and dressed the doll in their clothes just to hear these weird melodies. Some people think the reason it looks odd might be the Uncanny Valley, the human-looking robots that are just not right. No one knows if the guy was convicted for his wrongdoings, which makes it all the more uncomfortable to watch. Haunting face. Dark web is filled with stuff you normally don't get to see. Have a look at this. A guy claimed to have been hearing bizarre noises from his house, and one night when the noises grew louder, he turned on his camera and flashlight and captured this creepy face appearing beside his room door. Can you imagine seeing something like this in your own home? And to make the scene even more scary, its unnaturally long fingers covered the door. The face looked anything but human. Netizens thought it was a demon living in the guy house causing all the disturbance. A real demon or something else. The mystery is still out there. Demonic face. A CCTV camera recorded this footage, and people have no idea what the creature is. Captured inside a toy shop, a doll that seemed to have come alive was eating something out of its hands. Then suddenly, it looked up, and its demonic face came into view. Hollow eyes, long back hair, it's like staring into some soulless being. The shop owner had no idea how the doll moved on its own or what came over it, but the folks had made their guess. The doll was possessed by a demon something like Annabelle, but whether it was true or not has remained unknown. Slender Man. You must have heard about the Slender Man legend, an incredibly tall humanoid that is said to abduct young kids and take their souls, and looks like it's not afraid to enter homes. A home security camera captured a very strange scene. A figure entered a home and went straight into the kid's room. Its arms were so long that he was walking with their support. Everyone was fast asleep in their own rooms, and the alleged Slender Man was trying to take the kid with him, but seemed to be struggling. It tried for a while but failed, and then moved out of the room. The family and everyone who watched this footage were scared to the bone. Was it really the Slender Man caught in action, or something far more sinister was at play here? Windows charade.
Top window. Bottom window. Bottom window.
While looking out of his window, a guy noticed something that thoroughly creeped him out. In the house in the front, that was supposed to be empty as no one lived there, he saw a dark figure standing in the window. As he zoomed in to see what or who it was, nothing came up. It just looked like a dark shadow. As he zoomed out, the figure ducked down only to reappear, but this time in the room below. Once again, it disappeared and showed up on another window. The guy, scared out of his mind, stopped recording and thought it was best to ignore the abandoned house at all costs. Definitely for the best.
Oh, man, it disappeared. Bottom
Real-life zombie. This video was posted back in 2013 and has been a mystery since. A guy seemingly with burnt or extremely injured hands and feet was walking around the woods while recording a tutorial on how to weatherize a hole. As this oddly distressing clip made rounds on the internet, people tried to guess what it was. Some thought of a real-life zombie out and about in the woods. But the truth came out when someone identified the clip as one of Alan Tutorials, a YouTube channel that makes random tutorial videos. People think that the video creator was disturbed, involved in self-harm, and was left to live in the woods on his own, hence the injured state.
So, if you need a warm winter cloth to weatherize.
Behind the wall. The internet never ceases to amaze us, or should I say scare us. A man unloaded this clip online saying he's been experiencing bizarre activity in his home for a while. And a couple days later, while reviewing footage from his security camera, he saw this dark entity sticking to the wall of his house at a very strange angle. With long hands and bright dots as eyes, the figure looked like it didn't belong to our world. The guy was sure this figure was behind the disturbances, and this wasn't all. Another guy also captured a similar clip of a haunting entity. The door to the room opened on its own, and long, dark hands appeared. And then 2 glowing eyes emerged in the darkness. Was it really a ghost? Or something else was at play here? With little to no explanation. I guess we'll never know. Ghostly ritual. A group of adventurers decided to put cameras in an alleged haunted house, and what they captured left them shocked to the bone. There was an entity sitting on the ground in front of something really bright. Not only the ghostly presence creepy there seemed to be a bodiless head floating around the entity. By the looks of the scene, it looked like the spirit was performing some kind of a ritual. According to the local stories, a woman was unjustly executed in the house, and since then, the house has seen such bizarre activity. Although the existence of ghosts and spirits has never been proved, so do you think this could be considered evidence? Child spirit. While exploring an abandoned house, a group found something they had no explanation for. Before entering, they were sure the place was remote, and no one other than them was there. But while going around the area, they found a small, very scary-looking figure sitting quietly in the corner. It seemed like a young boy, but seeing its features were too terrifying for an innocent kid. The guy thought it might be the restless spirit of a kid. These guys were brave for sticking around, while I think it's better to just back up at this point.
Whoa, wait, no way.
Human hybrid. When a woman entered her bedroom and saw this thing on her bed, she was scared to say the least. The creature in her room had a humanoid face, an animal-like body, was sitting on all fours, and had a long tail. The woman managed to get it on video and posted it on the internet, and a lot of theories surfaced. Some said it was a human-dog hybrid that escaped from the lab, and then someone claimed that it was actually a guy suffering from a psychological disorder where he thinks he's an animal instead of a human, like in the movie Good Boy, where the guy in a dog costume believes he's actually a dog, though the one in the clip looks more realistic. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this? Abduction. Next up, we have Slender Man in action again. On what seemed like an ordinary day, a girl was filmed playing football by herself, unaware of what dangers were lurking around. Suddenly, the ball rolled out of her reach, and she rushed to get it, and returned without the ball. Then, she suddenly falls to the ground. And then, an unbelievably tall, slender man with no facial features appeared. Could this strange figure be responsible for what happened to the girl? Instead of walking, the man stretches his long, thin arms like an octopus, reaching out to grab her. What happened after that is unknown, but the man was seen again, and this time empty-handed. This encounter remains a mystery to this day. Dolphin muzzle.
Please go check outside your home.
Now, let's have a look at the Dolphin Man video, taken from the depths of YouTube. It showed a guy with a dolphin muzzle, and was warning the viewers about something. What's outside the home? And what is this warning about? The most popular story behind this creepy clip was that this muzzle man made these videos in hopes to scare people, cause chaos, and spread misinformation about sudden emergencies. Although there have been a lot of theories about him being a man wearing this muzzle, many have denied the claims, and think this half-human, half-dolphin could be a hybrid. When the video became a buzz, someone claimed it was actually a company specializing in animal-like facial prosthetics that made this video. But why would they make this eerie video, and why warn people? And to this day, no one knows the truth behind this clip, for sure.
Please go check outside your home.
Backyard creeper. When a guy got sick of hearing bizarre noises from outside his house, he finally decided to take a look, and what he found was something he had never imagined. In the backyard, there was a bipedal creature that seemed to be looking for something on the ground. The guy had quietly sneaked up, so the creature had no idea it was being watched. To grab its attention, the guy threw a stick toward it, and the skeleton-like figure turned out. Instead of coming at him, the bizarre figure ran for the hills, and after a little chase, disappeared in the woods nearby. The guy had no idea what it was, and where it had come from. As the region was a hotspot for UFO sightings, many claimed that it might be an alien trying to get familiar with the earthly surroundings. Midnight encounter. It's always a bad idea to venture in the woods at night, but not everyone's careful. And when you do go out at midnight, this is what you get. A group's nighttime adventure took a creepy turn when they came face to face with this creature. Ghostly pale face, long gray hair, and does this thing have 4 hands? What the heck? And to think the guys are still standing there recording the whole thing. With all of its hands spread out, the ghostly entity was walking toward the group. I would have reached my home at this point. Many people claim the clip was a hoax, but the group is sure that they had an encounter with the forest spirit that night. Crazy bachelor. Next up, we have some truly unsettling footage. An eerie dating video from the 1980s that's sure to send chills down your spine. The clip features a middle-aged man named Tony, who seems to be attempting to film a dating tape, but his behavior quickly raises red flags. In the background, faint, muffled noises can be heard, and Tony's reactions to them are far from ordinary. Clearly agitated, he yells at someone off camera before abruptly leaving to change his shirt. seemingly to cool off. When he returns and resumes filming, his composure is short-lived, and he soon loses control entirely. This bizarre video sparked speculation that Tony may have been an abductor, with some suggesting that the muffled sounds are from one of his victims. The eerie tone and his erratic behavior only seem to fuel these disturbing theories. In the window. A family was left completely scared when their home security captured this. In the window behind their kitchen sink, an oddly creepy face appeared on the other side of the glass. With no clear facial features, it looked like some creepy creature had come out of a scary sci-fi movie. The family had no clue what it could be. A few seconds into the video, the screen went blank, only to reappear with strange, long strings covering the window. Might be the creature's arms. Was this some wild being seeking refuge in the rain, or some other dimensional entity creeping on the family? The is yet to be revealed. Shapeshifter. One of the most famous conspiracies these days is the existence of shape-shifting creatures. Some think there are ultra-special beings among us able to shift forms, and many clips have circulated claiming to be proof of their existence. A CCTV camera recorded this footage of a man moving down a street, and while running, his shape changed. A whole bunch of limbs appeared out of him. He just transformed from a bipedal human to a weird canine-like creature. I've always thought these were just theories, but seeing this clip, there might be some truth to these claims. And who knows what goes on in directions we don't look. Long arms. This anonymously posted clip has been the source of creepiness for many. A home security camera captured this woman. Everything looked normal, except for her arms. They were exceptionally long, and the way she was standing eerily still looked even scarier. But wait, when she turns her face around, her smiling face looked like she knew she was being watched and didn't care about being captured. People have been claiming that the woman was probably possessed or had some supernatural powers. With no explanation of what was going on, this creepy footage has remained. Backroom. If you've been a regular user of the internet, you must know about the infamous backrooms, a secretive place that consists of a maze of countless identical rooms. People believe all kinds of illegal and non-authoritative work is done in these rooms, and we also found this clip uploaded on the dark web that claims to show a view of back rooms and how things are done there. There was a group of guys dressed in hazmat suits carrying bags that entered the rooms. All rooms were brightly lit and looked exactly the same. People think these rooms might be a doorway to an alternate reality, but there's been no confirmation on this. Musician ghost. Back in the 2000s, a local band was performing what would be their final gig. At the time, everything seemed normal. But when they later watched the footage of the performance, they saw something chilling. Behind the TV, a ghostly figure appeared, watching the band. It looked like a pale, eerie girl with yellowish skin and a twisted, distorted face. If you look closely, she only appears in a few brief moments of the video, so no one in the audience saw her. The strange thing was, the figure didn't seem threatening. It looked like she was there just to listen. The band members believed it might have been the spirit of a friend who had passed away, returning to say goodbye at their final show. Eerie doll. While playing alone with her toys around, a camera captured this young girl sitting in the living room, sketching on a piece of paper, when something unsettling happened in the background. The pieces of paper began to move on their own. The girl got scared, obviously, and ran out of the room in terror. After a while, she returns, only to find the items on the table moving again. This time, it's not the wind. Everything else in the room remains still. Then, the table starts shaking rapidly, and just as things seem to spiral out of control, the video abruptly ends. What do you think could be moving this stuff around? Now it's time for today's open discussion. You must remember the jellyfish UAP that made rounds on the internet a while back. The strange-looking object was seen flying in the sky over Area 51. Many netizens thought aliens were trying out new technology crafts. In the midst of this jellyfish craft going viral, a clip surfaced online that left many to question. A humanoid figure donning all black security gear was seen standing in a destroyed, abandoned building. It seemed to be showing its hand, and there was an eye-shaped glow on its palm. People thought this was the otherworldly creature piloting the jellyfish craft, and was here to keep tabs on us. Don't forget to share your thoughts on this in the comments. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.